Welcome to the show. This is Future Shock. Edward St. Pé reporting, and happy to be with you today from downtown Ocean Springs. We're at Ocean 7 Studios in Ocean Springs, and we are going to be updating everyone today on the various news in high-tech AI, especially. That's kind of what we cover every day. We've been talking about, I think, for the last few days, and even last week, we were talking about the release of ChatGPT 4o, which is kind of a big deal. We've got a video on that. We've got Sam Altman today talking to the president of MIT about AI in general, but also about the release of the latest iteration of ChatGPT 4. It's called ChatGPT 4o. If you haven't used it, you have to try it. It's really an amazing thing. And we're using it here at the studio for different things. Mostly creative projects, but if you're in other areas of life, you can use it for, different areas. If you're, I always use the idea of if you're an accountant, you can use it, or whatever you're doing, you can use it. But in the creative area, it's a pretty fun tool to use to create graphics, and there are aspects. You can use it to create imagery. ChatGPT 4o, that DALL-E, that aspect of it, you can use it for that. Sora, you can use for video, which I don't think it's released yet to the public, but it's in beta, so you can look at the demos, and it's a text prompt into video. You get the video back, and it's just really super amazing what that does. And there are other AI apps that you can create music with. For an example, we were working on the Ocean 7 website the other day, and I wanted to create a little jingle for the website. So I used Udio, U-D-I-O, Udio, it's another AI app, to create a kind of a choral arrangement. So in this particular Udio app, you can create something from scratch. Music by putting in the prompts of what you want musically, what is the type of music, and you put in the parameters of what you want, and then also you can write lyrics and put them in, and then it will orchestrate to those lyrics. Or if you're not writing lyrics, it'll write the lyrics for you. So in this particular case, I wrote the lyrics because I wanted it to be a jingle for Ocean 7 television for the website. So I think we've got that clip. We were going to look at it yesterday. We found it. Now we can look at it. Now this will be an Ocean 7 graphic that was created prior by OpenAI on ChatGPT 4. Alfred was what we call our ChatGPT 4 droid. Alfred and I created the graphic a few weeks ago. Now Udio creates the music, so we combine them. But this is what's on the website, this music. This is a jingle for Ocean 7. Let's take a listen. Okay, there's music from Udio, and that's our Ocean 7 jingle. Now, tell me, isn't that truly amazing? That is what AI can do. That was an orchestral choral piece that was created by Udio, I prompted it. I told it what I wanted, and I put in the lyrics. I wrote the lyrics and put them in there, and it composed it and sent it back to me. So it's truly an amazing time to think that kind of magic can occur from a technological app via your phone. I did it on the phone. Working on it for about maybe 15 or 20 minutes, sitting on my porch outside on the farm. So on Saturday. So that's kind of an example of what we're facing as we look ahead. It's truly, truly amazing, an amazing time to be alive, really, with those types of technological breakthroughs here for us to use. Now, we talked about it yesterday. Tesla, or rather Elon Musk, had just raised a round of financing for xAI, which is going to be his total immersion into competing with ChatGPT-4 and OpenAI in the AI arena. Okay, so we've got a video today on that. We've got on the round of financing and other things related to Elon's world, and also we've got a Sam Altman interview with the president of MIT, and he was talking about, and this was just from a few days ago, this was talking about the ChatGPT 4o iteration, which is the latest development there. And also, we've got one more video, if we can get to it, on some of the insane things that ChatGPT 4o can do. Things that I've talked about, some of them, and some things we probably have not talked about. It's like a demo. So let's go to Sam Altman first. Sam Altman talking to the president of MIT just after 4.0 was released. Let's see what Sam has to say.
Thank you both for being here. Neither of them probably need an introduction, but of course, for the record, Sally Kornbluth became MIT's 18th president in January 1st, 2023. She's a cell biologist whose 8-year tenure at Duke's University as provost earned her reputation as a brilliant administrator, a creative problem solver, a leading advocate for faculty excellence and student well-being. And in her first year of MIT, amongst many initiatives, she has focused as well on AI and has testified MIT's efforts to make sure that AI is broadly beneficial for society. Sam Altman is an entrepreneur, an investor, a programmer. He co-founded OpenAI in 2015. He is their CEO. And OpenAI is an AI research and deployment company whose mission is to ensure that artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity. Sam and Sally, thank you for being here. I'm going to turn it over to both of you.
Great. Thanks so much, Mark. So welcome. I will say I think this is the most popular event I've seen since I arrived at MIT. And I should say that the questions I'm asking were submitted by students and sort of gone through and curated, but this really reflects the curiosity of our community here and enthusiasm for you being here. So let me start with, oh, sorry.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So let me just dive in. So according to columnist Kevin Roos and others, in some circles, the question is, what is your P-doom? It's a common icebreaker, or so I'm told. Most of you probably know that P-doom, or probability of doom, is calculated on a scale from 1 to 100, and the higher the score you give, the more strongly you believe we'll end up in a doomsday scenario where AI eliminates all human life. So Sam, just to break the ice, what is your P-doom?
I think it's sort of the badly formed question.
Hey, I'm glad I didn't take any responsibility.
No. I think it's like a great question for people that, it's a great way to like sound smart and important. And it's like, I have as much fun pontificating on numbers as anybody else. But, whether you say it's 2 or 10 or 20 or 90, the point is it's not 0. And I think another reason I think it's a badly formed question is that it sort of assumes that it's a static system. I think what we need to do is find a way to make the future great, make the future exist, like not tolerate any, branches of it where we just sort of have the doom come to play. But I think society always holds space for doomsayers. There's value to that. I'm happy that they exist. I think it makes us think harder about what we're doing. But I think the better question is, what needs to happen to navigate safety sufficiently well?
Right, so be aware as you're developing things of that possibility, but not indulge in them too
More
much.
than aware, like really confront it and take it extremely seriously.
Yes, fair enough. So, you've been in this business for a little while now. How have your views of AI changed over the past decade? 5 or 10 years ago, did you expect AI, GPT would become as powerful as it has?
Well, I honestly still think it's not very good. I think we will make it very good, but we have a ton of work in front of us. I think 10 years ago, I probably had a more naive conception of AI as this creature that was going to be off doing stuff, or this magic super intelligence in the sky that would figure things out and rain money on us, and we were going to try to figure out how to live our lives, but it was all sort of confusing. And now I think of it much more like any other technological revolution. Hopefully the biggest and the best and the most important and the greatest benefits. But we have a new tool in the tech tree of humanity, and people are using it to create amazing things. I think it will continue to get way more capable and way more autonomous over time. But even then, I think it's just going to integrate into society in an important and transformative way, but something that is somehow going to be, I think if AGI got built tomorrow, and you asked me what would happen the next day, 10 years ago, I would have said, can't really imagine it. It should be just this absolute transformation, singularity, everything is different all at once. And I now think it won't really be like that at all.
So you think in some extent you were optimistic, but you couldn't have placed yourself in the current moment in either way, and it's the same for...
I don't know, optimistic or pessimistic. I think I was just somewhat wrong. I mean, there were ways in which it was too optimistic and too pessimistic at the same time. If we make something that is as smart as all of the super smart students here, that's a great accomplishment in some sense. There's already a lot of smart people in the world. Mm-hmm. So maybe things go faster, maybe quality of life goes up, maybe the economy cycles a little bit faster. But, if the rate of scientific discovery becomes 10 times faster than it is today, I don't know how different that'll feel to us living through it at that time.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. So,
Okay, that's Sam Altman, and he is talking a little bit about his views on what AI is, what it's going to become. Who better to talk about it than Sam Altman? Well, maybe there's another guy who has something to say about it, and that is Elon Musk. And he just raised, I think it was last week, they put it together, $6 billion in investment that came in for a startup project called xAI. And it's going to be their entry, full-blown entry into the world of AI development. Now, they're already totally infused into it. I mean, they're using it in Tesla automobiles. They're using AI in the robotics project, the humanoid robotics project. I think it's called Optimus. And that is going to be a big business as we go forward. Not only, are they doing Tesla there, but they're doing Tesla automobiles, and of course they've got SpaceX and Neuralink, but the humanoid robotic project alone is going to become a billion-dollar business as they start to sell these humanoid robots into industry going forward, where they can become robotic workers, on assembly lines and things like that. That's all coming, and Tesla is poised to be a big player, if not the biggest player in that field, along with Boston Dynamics and a few others, including a number of other international companies in China and other parts of the world. But Tesla is poised to probably be maybe the biggest. They're so far ahead of everybody else because they've been making the Tesla automobile. They've been working, as you know, Elon Musk has a history with OpenAI. He was at one time with Sam Altman at the very beginning of OpenAI. Then he left because he thought it wasn't open enough. The source wasn't truly open. So I guess they had a disagreement and he left. Now he's suing them, by the way. Anyway, Let's go to Elon and find out a little bit about what he's up to and some of the funding that they've received. And this is the latest from Elon. Let's take a look.
So with another incredible day in artificial intelligence, there is a few stories that I think you do want to know because they are quite pivotal to the landscape in terms.
Okay, let's go to the Elon Musk video. That's the other one. That's the some of the great things that ChatGPT 4o can do. But let's now take a look at the Elon Musk interview.
Hello, everyone. Well, I must say I'm very impressed with this. This meeting room is amazing. I feel like I'm in a waterfall. And it's really lovely here, and that was incredible performance. So I must say I'm quite delighted to be here this morning talking to you and to experience this wonderful event and everything that Indonesia has to offer. It's amazing being here in Bali in Indonesia. Hopefully everyone saw the mangrove forests because those are very impressive. It's several 100,000 acres of mangroves that I think have been replanted, if I recall correctly. There are a lot of great things happening in Indonesia and the rest of the world. And overall, I would say I'm quite sort of optimistic for the future. I think we should never be complacent or entitled, but I do think that if we're not complacent and entitled, that the future will actually be great for the world. And I think we're headed to a bright future overall. So, and with respect to water, I've always thought, we call Earth, but actually Earth is 70% water by surface area. So technically, I think if aliens came here, and a lot of people think aliens have come here, because they're always asking me about aliens, they would name us water, because we are 70% water and only 30% land. So what that means is the potential for solving any given water issue is extremely good because there is so much water. There's obviously desalination required at times and the transport of water, but desalination, as I think most people know, has become very inexpensive and so really the availability of fresh water is simply about energy and transport. So when I talk to even very well-read, very smart people in the United States, they will often think, well, the water crisis is unsolvable. But in fact, it is very solvable. There are continuing breakthroughs in the efficiency of desalination. And I think we've got a great water future ahead of us, and I think a great sustainable energy future ahead of us. I'm kicking things off on a positive note, but I think with good basis for doing so. The next section is really just some questions or Q&A. If anyone would like to ask me anything about anything, I suppose we should generally stick to the topic of water, given that it's the water conference, but I'm happy to answer other questions as well. I'm not quite sure how the logistics of question posing works, but you could just say a question. Sure. If I heard correctly, what is the most important thing for solving the water crisis? Okay. Well, the exact solution will vary depending upon country and even region within a country. But as I mentioned, because the cost of desalination has dropped so much, if you're just talking about water for individual consumption or water in, say, a hydroponics facility, some kind of, where you're not simply putting it on the ground for crops, but actually have some sort of contained facility that minimizes the amount of evaporation, I think you can basically turn any part of the world green, including the entire world. So it just begs the question of where does the energy come from? And here's where I think solar energy is very much underestimated in terms of its capability. So if you think about what would the Earth be without the sun, the Earth would be a frozen dark ice ball at roughly 3 degrees above absolute zero. It would be quite unpleasant. So, very cold and dark. But because of the sun, we're at quite a nice temperature, quite pleasant, roughly 300 degrees above absolute zero. And the sun powers almost the entire ecosystem is solar powered. When you say well, how much land would it take to generate electricity?
Okay, do we have that Elon Musk interview, Clarence? Are you ready with that? Okay, let's go to that. That was a clip from another conference. This is the clip that we are going to show you where he's talking about the AI investment that's just come up. Let's see if we can take that video.
It will be very, very interesting to see how all of this works. So Musk is doubling down on this area, and it will be interesting to see some of his wild predictions and wild claims come to fruition. So now this isn't AI news, but this is something that you need to know because it's important to be able to understand what I'm about to say so that you can decipher AI news correctly. So this is Gary Marcus. And if you don't know who Gary Marcus is, he, says he's a beacon of clarity, spoke at the US Senate AI Oversight Committee. And I do think it is important to criticize AI because if you don't have someone that is criticizing new technology or whatever innovation you are currently doing, then you're not thinking. So I think criticisms are good, but the problem is that Gary Marcus, okay, and other people who are on the other side of AI, essentially people who are, I wouldn't say doomers, but people that, are a little bit more skeptical and have their own biases, often publish things that just aren't true. And it's important to understand how we can decipher the news, because if you don't see the news in my video or in certain areas, you might see certain things and you might get confused, especially when there is a million different news stories. So essentially, he said, brutal, absolutely brutal. So much crap code is probably being written. Now, I'm going to show you guys why this is just absolutely insane. It says, Q&A platforms have been crucial for the online help-seeking behaviors of programmers. However, the recent popularity of ChatGPT is altering this trend. Despite this popularity, no comprehensive study has been conducted to evaluate the characteristics of ChatGPT's answers to programming questions. To bridge the gap, we conducted the first in-depth analysis of ChatGPT answers to 517 programming questions on Stack Overflow and examined the correctness, the consistency, comprehensiveness, and conciseness of ChatGPT answers. Now, just bear with me because don't make any presumptions yet. I'm just going to tell you guys what's happening, okay? It says, furthermore, we conducted a large-scale linguistic analysis as well as a user study to understand the characteristics of ChatGPT. And here's the point. Our analysis showed that 52% of ChatGPT answers contained incorrect information and 77% are verbose. Nonetheless, our user study participants still preferred ChatGPT answers 35% of the time due to their comprehensiveness and well-articulated language style. However, they also overlooked misinformation in the ChatGPT answers 39% of the time. This implies the need to counter misinformation in ChatGPT.
Okay, we'll get into the actual interview segment of that tomorrow. And also, we have the video that we wanted to get to, but we're about to run out of time. It was the various insane things that you can do with ChatGPT 4.0. A lot of things that we've talked about, but a lot of things that we haven't talked about yet. So it's pretty extraordinary to see what the new version of ChatGPT 4 will do. Okay, before we go, let me mention that this program is brought to you by Pendragon Apothecary, downtown Ocean Springs. It's pendragonapothecary.com. We've got a pretty wide array of teas, medicinal teas, herbal teas, things that, or blends that are kind of, I think, difficult to find. And they're on the website at pendragonapothecary.com, and we can ship it anywhere from right here in downtown Ocean Springs. And thank you. If you're around the area, stop by and visit us at the store at 1016 Government Street, Pendragon Apothecary. And Ocean 7 Studios is here in Ocean Springs, and we'll be glad to visit with you if you stop by. Okay, that's it for today's show. I think we're just about out of time. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Welcome to the future. Welcome to our show. Future Shock is here to keep you in the know. Ready, set, Future Shock. Ready, set, Russia crowd. Now a man with something to say. Here's your host, Edward St. Yeah. Yesterday is yesteryear. Set your sights for tomorrowland. Future Shock is here to help you make your stand.